Poštovane gledateljice i gledatelji, dobar dan i dobrodošli na Sum TV. Moje ime je Ante Pavić i bit ću današnji voditelj na temu aktualnih političkih zbivanja u Bosni i Hercegovini, odnosno na dobivanje statusa kandidatkinje za pristup Europskoj uniji. Moji današnji gosti su renomirani europarlamentarci gospođa Željana Zovko i gospodin David McAllister i napominjem da ćemo razgovor voditi na engleskom jeziku. Mrs. Zovko and Mr. McAllister, welcome to Mostar and to Sum TV. It's nice to have you here.
Thank you for having us here.
Yeah.
Hvala.
So we will start with first question for Mr. McAllister. So to what extent is the status of candidate for EU membership the result of current geopolitical moment, and how much is that the work of domestic institutions in BiH?
I very much welcome the decision taken yesterday by the European Council. This was a historic decision for Bosnia and Herzegovina, and it's really good news, and I would like to congratulate the country and the people that finally the status was achieved. This was also a success of Croatian diplomacy. In recent years, they were always pushing for Bosnia and Herzegovina to be put on the agenda of the European institutions. So the European Parliament has supported and will continue to support the path of European integration of this country. Now, the next step is that Bosnia and Herzegovina works hard on actually fulfilling the conditions, the 14 priorities, the 14 conditions formulated by the Commission, and as sooner all these conditions are met, the better, because then we can start with the real beginning of the accession negotiations.
Yes, thank you. And Mrs. Zovko, given that the Union could turn a blind eye to a lot of unimplemented reforms in Bosnia and Herzegovina as well as the Western Balkans, is this indication of taking a new direction in the enlargement policy of the EU?
Absolutely not. EU is not turning a blind eye on unimplemented reforms. These reforms are awaiting a new government here, new authorities that are going to be made, and there's no country that will be received into European Union until they absolutely fulfill all the requests that are being laid down from the Commission, and they are well known to the administration of Bosnia and Herzegovina and for the other countries. So the process of enlargement is continuing, the methodology has changed, and each country is accessing on its own speed and using on the way the funds that are substantial, like IPA 3 funds that I was co-rapporteur for. And it's up to them. Will they fulfill this reform or not? And those who are the best students, like Croatia was, will enter.
Thank you. And Mr. McAllister, what are the Union's expectations from the new authorities in Bosnia and Herzegovina, and can they speed up the process of implementing reforms?
Well, first of all, we welcome that the elections took place in October and they were conducted in a proper way. And now these elections have produced new political majorities, and now Bosnia and Herzegovina will have a new government, and I call on the new government, just as I call on all responsible politicians, work on, as Ms. Zovko just mentioned, implementing the necessary reforms. The roadmap is clear. Everyone knows what's at stake, and that's why I do hope that there will be new momentum now in this country to work on the necessary reforms as regards the rule of law, fighting corruption, and many, many other important issues.
Yes, I agree. And Mrs. Zovko, how could the potential blockages surrounding the formation of the government in the Federation of Bosnia and Herzegovina affect the candidate status of Bosnia and Herzegovina? First of all, the blockade by leading Bosnian SDA party, which is, according to announcement, could end up in the opposition after a long time.
Any blockade will block the opening of negotiations process. Yes. Because now you have a candidate status, but you know how long North Macedonia and Albania were waiting to opening negotiations. So whoever wishes to block its people and country to advance will do the blockages. But those who want its people to advance and to have to speed up and to be out of this danger and of instability that these geopolitical circumstances are lying on them, will quietly accept to be constructive opposition And constructive opposition is the best on this reform process path.
Yes.
Advancing on the European integration path is not only a task for a government, it's a task for the entire parliament, and that's why I call on the majority and the opposition to work together, to collaborate, to cooperate when it comes to the structural reforms which are necessary. You need a political momentum, and that's why all politicians are responsible, and that's why I also would say any kind of blockade of the key necessary reforms would be detrimental to the people of Bosnia-Herzegovina.
Yes, it should be in everybody's interest to progress. Yeah. And Mr. McAllister, how significant is the influence of the Republic of Croatia on the potential approach of Bosnia and Herzegovina to the European Union?
The Republic of Croatia is our youngest member state, and we're so happy and proud to have them on board. And I also would like to congratulate Prime Minister Plenković for his recent huge successes. On the one hand, to finally enter the Schengen area. That is a major step forward for Croatia. And also to introduce the euro. These are two really brave steps Croatia has made to become a fully fledged, integral part of a fully integrated Europe. So huge success for Croatia here. Čestitam. And Croatia has, of course, because of its geographical situation, a key interest in promoting Western Balkan-related issues. And Croatia has always been very helpful in making clear to all of us in Europe, and I come from the north of Germany, far away from here, that the Western Balkan countries lie in the heart of Europe. They are surrounded by EU member states, and that it is in our own interest, also in the north and in the west of Europe, to understand political stability here means stability for the entire Europe, and on the other hand, political instability in the Western Balkans means in the long run instability for Europe. That's why we support the European integration path of all Western Balkan countries, and now Bosnia-Herzegovina has made a major step forward. You have now official candidate status, and now you are playing in the same league as Albania and North Macedonia. And the sooner the necessary reforms are implemented, the better. So I would call on all politicians, not only as the Croatians do, but as we all do in Europe, I call on the politicians in Bosnia-Herzegovina, get your work done. Croatia was very, very helpful for bringing Bosnia-Herzegovina forward, and you shouldn't underestimate the important role Prime Minister and Foreign Minister of Croatia played in recent weeks and months.
Yes, I agree. And Ms. Zovko, will the candidate status speed up the process of finally resolving problems with election law in Bosnia and Herzegovina?
As I said already, the opening of the negotiations is being conditioned by the 8 recommendations, and also one of the recommendation and one of the what is being recommended for Bosnia and Herzegovina and what is the utmost priority is to finally reform electoral law in accordance with its constitutional court decisions and international court decisions. It's unbelievable that one country does not have an electoral law that is in conformity with its internal constitutional court decision and international court decision. So it's absolutely impossible to continue forward and to take the country seriously. So in order to have normal elections in the future, we have to have a law that is in conformity with its court decisions.
Yes, I agree. So this will be the end of the interview. I would like to thank you both for coming to Mostar and to Sum TV. I hope you like it here, and I hope we're going to meet up in future. So thank you once again, and see you next time.
Thank you very much.
Hvala puno.
Hvala. Dragi gledatelji, to je bilo to od današnje emisije. Nadam se da ćete se i dalje pridružiti Sum TV-u i pratiti program događanja u ostatku televizije. Hvala i doviđenja.